Welcome to my channel everyone. Today I'm going to be doing some mono printing with monochromatic colours. Monochromatic meaning colours of the same hue. Here I'm just rolling out some block printing ink, which is an acrylic ink. You can buy that at most art stores, or you can just use black acrylic paint. I've rolled it quite thinly, and here I'm just placing some feathers onto the ink. I'm using a tissue to take off the excess paint from around the feathers. So the tissue is just going to lift off the paint from around the outside of those feathers there, and I'm just dabbing any excess that I can see that didn't pick up initially. Taking the feathers off. Got a really good image there. And again, just checking the plate for any dabs of paint that I don't want left on there. Here I'm putting a greeting card on and a tissue on top. The tissue is to help protect the card from my messy fingers, and it just helps me also press down a little bit easier. Here I'm lifting the card very carefully, trying to keep the back part clean, and there's the image. A little bit of reflection there, but it really is a lovely image. There's one I've done on a white card. Here again I'm rolling some of that same ink. You can see how thin it is there. Adding a feather, that's a kookaburra feather, and I think the other one was cockatoo, and a little flower, which is just a weed actually. Taking off that excess paint with some scrap paper, just an old telephone book sheet. Lifting, and again I'll check for any excess paint that I'd like to be removed. And there we have the image waiting on the plate, and using a white card this time, pressing down quite firmly. There's a great image, nice and grungy. Love that one with those multiple colours in the background. Here I'm using some golden fluid acrylic in indigo and a little bit of violet. Taking the excess paint off. You don't want too much on there, it needs to be quite a thin layer. Here's some dried up gum leaves. Now if you do make a mistake like I did then, just give it another roller to smooth it out. And here I am placing the leaves again. Taking the excess paint off from around the leaves with some scrap paper. In this case just an old telephone book sheet, but I just keep reusing them. And there we have, you can see how the paper's removed all the excess paint from between the leaves. I'm just using a white greeting card, putting a clean telephone sheet there. And again, it just helps me press down without making marks of that beautiful white greeting card back. And we get those lovely crisp images of the leaves. Here's some kookaburra feathers. A little bit of indigo, a bit of azo gold. They'll mix together. And that'll just give me some different values of the blue. Popping the kookaburra feathers on. Try and put the side down that's got the most indentations on it, so that you get a really good impression. Like with leaves, try and put the veins always down towards the paint. Taking the excess off, it pulled one of the feathers off with it, but that's fine. Doesn't look as though there's much of an impression on that one on the right, but let's see how that goes when we lift off. And there we have it. Some more fluid acrylic. And here again we have some dried up gum leaves and some green leaves. From memory, I think they were bottle brush leaves. Just picking out off that excess colour from around the outside with a scrap paper. This seems to be a really good impression. Here we go with the greeting card. Just rolling on the indigo, making sure it's a nice smooth coat. Here's a cockatoo feather, just a single feather this time, taking off the excess paint from the outside. And you'll notice there that when I put the telephone paper on there to lift off, it's actually left an impression of the printing from the telephone paper. The ink on the telephone paper must be quite a loose ink, and I got this great result. Absolutely love it. Thanks for watching. Here's a few close-ups of the mono printed cards that I've created. Please hit the subscribe button, which is like a follow button, to follow my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.